Good morning. Okay, today we're going to continue working with problems that involve percents. The other day, the last video that we did, we learned how to solve percent problems with proportions. Today we're going to do it with equations. Okay, and then you're going to do your assignment, which is a digital escape room. And that is going to, you can choose what method you want to use at that point, whichever one you find easier for you. Okay, so we're going to take and plug the given values into the percent equation, which you see here is part is equal to our percent as a decimal, okay, times our whole. Okay, so let's get started. Here's our first problem. A student earned a grade of 80% on a math test that had 20 problems. How many problems did the student answer correctly? So we're trying to find out how many problems were answered correctly. So this is telling us that's the part. Our part is equal to our percent times our whole. Okay, so I don't know my part, so that's what I'm solving for. We'll call it x. Okay, so x, our percent, and remember it has to be in decimal format. 80% as a decimal, remember we take and move it 2 places, so my decimal's here. So 80% would just be 8/10 or 80 hundredths, depending on how you want to work with it, times our whole, which is 20. Okay, we're going to just type that into our calculator. So 8/10 times 20 is equal to 16. So when we solve this, x equals 16, or 16 problems were solved correctly. Okay? Our next one, a metal bar weighs 8 ounces. 93% of the bar is silver. How many ounces of silver are in the bar? Okay, so again, we're looking for a part. Okay, 93%, remember, move our decimal over, so we get 93 hundredths times 8's our whole. Okay, and then we just solve. We get x is 7 and 44 hundredths, and this is ounces. Ounces of silver. Okay, here's our next problem. Alexa put $580 into a savings account for 1 year. The rate of interest on the account was 3%. How much was the interest? Okay, interest is what we get when we're earning money. So we're just finding 3% of that 580. Okay, again, we're trying to find our part is equal to that 580. Hold on, let me put our percent first. 3%, okay, which we remember, move your decimal over, you have to add a 0. So it is 3 hundredths times 580. Okay, and then we just solve. So decimal 0.3 times 580. So x is $17.40. Alright, here's our next problem. There are 32 students in a class. 9 of those students are girls. What percent are girls? What percent are boys? Okay, so we're trying to find out what percent is girls, what percent is boys. Alright, so there's 32 students, and we have that 9 of them are girls. Okay, so we're trying to find out what percent for each. So using the information from the proportion, when we're taking and we're solving to find a percentage, okay, we are going to take and divide. Okay, so we're trying to find girls first. And we have 9 out of a total of 32. So we're just going to divide 9 by 32. And when we do that, we'll get a decimal. And you guys remember, once we divide and we get our decimal, we then have to move our decimal over 2 places. so that we can get our percentage. Okay, so 9 divided by 32 is 20 or 0.28. Okay, and then I'm going to move it over one place, two place. That's where my decimal is going to go, so I get 28%. Okay, now we're trying to find out how many are boys. To find out how many are boys, we first just have to take 32 and subtract the 9 girls, which gives us 23. So we have 23 boys out of 32. We divide that out, 23 out of 32. That gives us approximately, you guys, I'm going to round to my nearest tenths place. So I've got 0.718. So I'm going to round to 72%, or 0.72, 72 hundredths, which when we take and move our decimal, 1, 2, becomes 72%. Okay, so we have 28% are girls and 72% are boys. All right, one last problem. There are 36 carpenters in a crew on a certain day. 29 were present. What percentage showed up for work? Okay, again, we're going to take our part and we're going to put it over our whole. 29 out of 36. Divide that. Ooh, I don't know what I did with my calculator. Just pull it back up. So 29. 29 divided by 32 gives me 0.91 hundredths. I'm rounding again. Okay, remember we move our decimal 2 places, so that's going to give us 91%. Okay. All right, so you guys have your digital escape room to do. Remember, you have to read the instructions for each one. Make sure you're putting your code in correctly, or else it will not let you pass each section. There are 3 sections with 4 questions in each one. So if you do have any questions, let me know. See you guys later.